We are following breaking news right now in Minneapolis. Several incidents of gun violence in the city overnight, including a use of force investigation. We have team coverage right now following these developments.
Let's go ahead and check in with our Barrett Leone, who joins us live with the latest on that use of force incident. Barrett, what have you been able to learn this morning?
Yeah, well, it's still really an active scene here. You can see the building where this all happened taped off. BCA agents are still on scene investigating the crime itself, as well as the use of force from the Minneapolis Police Department. And we heard from the police chief, Brian O'Hara, a little more than an hour ago. He tells us that a woman living inside this building behind me was held at gunpoint by a neighbor, and officers responded, and that is when gunfire rang out. Now, I do want to tell you that no one was hurt in this incident. No one was hit or injured. It all happened just after 12:30 this morning. That's when a man called 911 saying his mother had just been threatened at gunpoint by their neighbor. He told dispatchers he believed the suspect was still outside. Police Chief Brian O'Hara tells us officers got here within minutes, made contact with the caller and his mother, and that's when things escalated. Officers say the suspect came out of the home with the gun and refused to comply. That's when an officer shot 2 shots. Again, no one was hurt. O'Hara says this underscores the dangers that officers face and how quickly these calls can turn.
This incident underscores the dangers our officers face every single day. In a fraction of a second, they were faced with a life or death situation. I am very grateful that no one was injured in this incident, and I'm thankful for the professional manner in which our officers handled it.
Now, the suspect is in custody, and the officer who fired his weapon is on administrative leave, which is protocol.
Our Barrett Leone following that breaking news from Minneapolis. Barrett, thank you. We do want to check in with our Maria Listignoli at the live desk because she joins us now because you're following deadly shootings in Minneapolis, a very, very active night.
Yes, that's right. As Barrett said, it was a busy night for Minneapolis police. We're working now to get more details on 2 deadly shootings within an hour of each other in Minneapolis. First up, a man in his 20s was found shot on the 2900 block of Emerson Avenue North in Minneapolis. Now, this happened around 9:30 last night. According to the Minneapolis Police Department, when they arrived, they found the man with life-threatening gunshot wounds, and he died at the hospital. Authorities believe the fight began with an argument that turned to gunfire. They say 2 individuals were involved, and they ran away. And less than 30 minutes later, on the other side of the city, a woman was found on the 800 block of Franklin Avenue East. Minneapolis police say shots were fired after a fight broke out between a group of people. Authorities say when they arrived at the scene, they found the woman, and she died at the hospital as well. Minneapolis police say they don't have any information that would connect these 2 shootings. Both cases are still under investigation.
All right, Maria, we'll continue to follow this throughout the day. Thank you.
And we'll continue to follow all of these investigations. Of course, we'll share more with this breaking news as soon as we learn it.
Let's turn now to the immigration crackdown. Early this morning, as we talked with the Minneapolis Police Chief Brian O'Hara, he shared insight into how his department is still doing their jobs despite everything that's happening right now with the ICE enforcement activity.
They have felt like all of this has been so much to manage, and they still have their actual job to do. This is our job. This is what we're here for. We're here to protect everyone in the community from people who are committing gun crimes, violence in the city, robberies, and all that kind of thing. So I do know it wears on them, that there's just so much going on. Well, we're trying to do our basic mission to be the police for the city.
That update as city and state leaders say this video shows a troubling trend. They say some U.S. citizens are being swept up in the immigration crackdown in the Twin Cities. And now Governor Tim Walz is calling for changes to the federal enforcement.
So in a letter to the Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem, the governor said that the forcefulness, lack of communication, and unlawful practices displayed by your agents will not be tolerated in Minnesota. Governor Walz calling for DHS to review the arrests, and any agents who violate the law should be put on leave, he says. He says to clarify rights for citizen observers of ICE operations, to make sure agents have training to respect the civil rights of observers, and to rethink the surge enforcement strategy. Now, the Cedar Riverside neighborhood has seen federal agents time and time again since this Operation Metro Surge began.
And residents say they're still in shock after a series of videos showing ICE stopping residents, demanding passports, and in some cases using force. Freelance journalist and community leader Liban Hussein says he was sprayed with a chemical irritant.
Then they start, flashing tear gas. They're just using like crazy. I haven't seen like that.
Another video shows a young man being detained. City leaders say he is a citizen. Coming up on 608, your national headlines this morning. The U.S. seized a sanctioned Venezuela oil tanker just after it left port yesterday. And Venezuela is calling the seizure a serious international crime, and it's vowing to defend its homeland.
An elite U.S. military unit you can see here rappelling from helicopters. This is onto that oil tanker on the coast of Venezuela. Guns drawn here. They're executing a seizure warrant. The Trump administration says that the tanker was part of an illicit oil shipping network, allegedly supporting terrorist organizations like Hezbollah. The Venezuelan government called the operation a, quote, shameless robbery and an act of international piracy. This is a dramatic escalation in the region where the U.S. has built up a major military presence and conducted at least 22 strikes on alleged drug boats.